guys, we're going to dive right on in. This is Michael Holmes with The Real University. And so what we're going to do is we're going to be talking about how to launch any business really quickly using PC, BC, and the LC. All right. And we're doing it right after this. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to be diving in how to launch any business, okay? So, let's admit you have a business, whatever this is, or you have an idea about a business, right? Whatever this may be, whatever this end goal is that you're trying to accomplish, that you want to accomplish, it's going to take a couple of things, right? No matter what it is, right? You're going to try to have a great lifestyle right now, right? You want to have a good lifestyle later. That's why you're doing the particular business that you're trying to do. You're trying to free yourself. You're trying to free your family, right? Whoever it is, whatever you're trying to do, you have an end goal for this business. And see, the big scene, okay, because it's just a little bit of my story. You know, I've seen this a couple of times, right? Because I've been in business since 1992, okay? I was actually retired in 98, I believe. And so this is what I've been doing ever since. And see, it always amazes me how that it says a smart person, right, will learn from his mistakes or her mistakes. And that's what I was doing. I was learning from my mistakes. But when I heard it was a wise person learns from somebody else's mistake. Okay. And see, when you get to that point, now you understand that, hey, why reinvent the wheel? Okay. I saw a guy earlier, he charges $3,500 per hour to do a YouTube video training. $3,500 per hour. Okay, I was talking to him, trying to see, okay, what we want to do. We're trying to expand. And he said that's what his fee is. But let me let you get this key. He says, Mike, what I did was I joined in with another community who already had the things that I wanted to do in place, the infrastructure, the framework, everything that I needed already in place. And so what I did was I just jumped into that, and then I put my specialty into there. This person's already making $3,500 an hour. He's already done help for people like Tony Robbins. He's already done Dean Graziosi. I forgot what his name was. The guy that started ClickFunnels, you see, he's already done consulting work for this. And what I'm trying to get over to you is this. We have so many people doing their own individual things. And that's what I made a post about earlier, because will get together for a particular challenge, right? We'll get together and, to see, to laugh and to eat, okay? That's great. Nobody said stop doing that. Enjoy yourself, right? But what we're saying is get the issue of money out of the way first. Okay, get that pattern going first. Okay, start with that understanding. Just like we understand how to ride a bike, how to learn particularly how to read, right? All of these things, if you own a business, right, or if you're doing a job, you had to learn how to do it, right? You had to learn a new skill set. Every time you went through a season of summer from first grade to 12th grade, you had to start over and learning a whole new skill set. And see, you only had a whole year to get that skill set in place. Then it was time for you to either take a test so that you could graduate, right, from that particular skill set. And see, when we graduate from the 12th grade, sometimes we no longer add additional skill sets. And so we want to start a business because what's going on in our lives is uncontrollable, right? We don't want to have to ask the boss for time off. We don't want to have to ask, for time to use the bathroom. We don't want to have to do those things, right? We want to live more about a hope, right? We live on a hope creed. When I was at my job, let's say, okay, I was hoping that they let me have this time off. right? I was hoping that if I got a little late because, you know, of traffic, that I wasn't going to get docked for pay, right? I was hoping all of these things, okay? But when I started doing my own thing on the side, I still had my job. When I started doing my own thing on the side, I started making an extra $1,000 a month, extra $2,000 a month, right? Then it was time for me to say, hey, I no longer have a hope creed. I got a wish creed. What is that? That's saying that, hey, I wish they would tell me that I can't take a vacation. I got 6 months saved, right, of my expenses. So I'm ready at any point in time. I got residual income coming in, right? So now as I was able to transition, I was able to continue to grab house to house to house. And that's the same thing that you do as you're scaling your business, whatever this is. Okay. And I want you to get away from this. If you ever heard of the small business mindset, okay, and I'm going to tell you what that is. When you have a small business mindset, this is what it is. You have to do the advertisement. You are the one running around doing everything, trying to touch everything. Okay, you're the one doing the accounting. You're the one doing the marketing. You're the one doing the returns calls. You're the one doing the follow-ups. You're doing everything. Okay, that's okay when you're starting out, but at some point in time, you have to learn how either to leverage, and that's the LC that we saw in the formula earlier, right? In the text rather. See, the LC, that's leverage. That's understanding how to leverage yourself. Okay, when you're doing that, now you understand that now this is starting to give me assets, and these assets are many different things. Okay, I have people that are doing Amazon review videos, and they are making money. It may be only $5 to $20, you know, for that particular sale, but the way they have it scaled up, right? So now they understand if I send it out there with 100 individuals that can see it, then my numbers would do the rest of it. Out of the 100 people that see it, maybe it's only one person that actually buys, but I let 100 people see it one day, okay? Because I'm leveraged, okay? And we'll talk more and more about that, okay? But what we're looking at, if you're launching any business, you're talking about PC plus BC plus your LC. If you're taking notes, and I hope you are, that's going to give you cash flow forever. Okay. And what that is personal credit. Get yourself into the 750 club so that you can stop paying those high penalties. Okay. And that's the interest rates that you have. Why do you continue to allow yourself to say, hey, I'm going to start later? Okay. And I'm going to get my credit. I know I need to get it, but that you've lost jobs. You know, people have lost jobs. People have had higher interest rates. People have had higher on the insurance rates just because of that. Okay, so we got to do something to make sure that we are past, you know, the 500s. Let's get over into the 700s. Even sixes is a point to where you're in the challenge arena. Okay, so you can always learn how to do those things yourself. Okay, we learn about a new particular TV show that's going on, and then we learn the characters on that TV show, and now we know what happens when, you know, somebody marries in, what is it, less than 90 days, or I forgot, but you know, we know all those types of things. And once again, I'm not saying anything's wrong. What I'm saying is you have to categorize your life so that when you launch your business, you know that you're going to sacrifice a certain amount of time because you want more time on the back end. So you're going to sacrifice the time now so that you can develop leverage. Okay. And when you develop leverage, now you can understand the process that you're going through. See, the whole goal is for 12 months to 18 months to start creating things that are going to produce for you assets, not consistently running after income. It's a big difference. I did the same. I went after the income, right? And then I got to a point to where I had a lot of income. But then when the market fell in 2008, 2009, I lost all of that income, right? And so what was left? Nothing. Because I no longer had cash. Okay. So now what we have to do is you have to get yourself to a position to where you have cash flow coming in, right? And you see people that are tuning in and people that are saying, hey, well, I would rather, instead of learning a new skill, let me just go get a job. Okay. The only thing that's wrong with that, I'm not knocking jobs. I'm knocking the amount of control and options that you have. Okay. When we go after security, that is really the less that we have. Let me show you what I mean. when you think of something as secure, people say, I'm going to get a job because it's secure. When I say maximum security, what does that sound like? Right? Sound that's prison, right? Maximum security is prison. Okay. So when we're looking for that security, we're exchanging freedom for that security. Okay. So while you got that security, also go ahead and line up. So now the 9 to 5 is coming in. You want to decrease your inflation, right? You want to outpace your inflation, because if you're on a job and you're getting raises, right? And your raise is only 1, 2%, 3% maybe. Okay, that's not even keeping up really with inflation. Okay, the cost of goods and products and services going up over time, right? So what do? You have to do something to make sure that your money is outpacing inflation. You got to reduce what taxes that's coming. Okay, see, what I'm talking about is before you go out there and go running after the bag, before you go out there and say, I'm gonna get this particular thing I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna do something where I'm working from home, or I'm gonna get a brick and mortar. I've seen it time and time again, and I've done it myself, to where you're going so hard after the income, you're putting in something that has holes, okay? And the holes are the taxes that we're talking about, is the inflation that we're talking about. And because of that, what do? We go into debt, right? Because the money, it's not going to go there, okay? So before you start to launch your business, the first thing you got to do is plug up the holes, okay? Now you're ready. You plug up the holes by doing what? Cash flow management, understanding where's the dollar going. Okay, you got to know. You got every dollar needs to have a name to it. That needs to be Jerry. That needs to be Sam. That needs to be Erica. Right? Every dollar needs to have a destination. You see, we give you a personalized cash flow plan, right? So you don't have to do the guesswork out there and say, hey, well, how does this work? And then you call Uncle Jimmy, and then you call Aunt Sally, and they say, well, I did it this way, and this is what you should happen. Or you call them, and they pull you down, because they know somebody else that tried this and they didn't make it. So they pull you down because they don't feel like, hey, if they didn't make it, it's a possibility that you might not make it, and I care for you. It's not that I hate that they're hating on you. They care for you. So they say, hey, you don't need to do that. So now what do? You have to get around people that are thinking like you're thinking. You have to get to a place, and see, what we do is we say, hey, let me do what I can do, the most that I can do without spending any money. And that's it. That is ridiculous. What would you get if you're trying to develop a forest, right? But you only have 3 seeds. It's not going to happen, right? And see, that's what we're doing. But the thing is, it's not to spend the money, it's to understand to put your cash flow in place. Increase your cash flow so that you can have extra things or extra money, right? To do those things. You can't start another business or a business and you have to pinch off of the job. 98% of the people are already robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's what's happening right now. 87% of the people cannot put their hands on $1,000. Okay. And see, when you think of it that way, 7 out of the 10 people that you meet on a day-to-day basis don't have a good grip on where they're going. They just understand, my job got a 401k and I hope it does well. Okay. See, we got to do something where we can take this in our hands. You see, we have a great a partnership, a great union, to where we have people that are already proficient in their areas of function. So let's say, for instance, we got individuals that need information about getting into college, right? And see, we have people that are within this right here that understand everything that it takes, right? You got Katina Glenn. She has a whole page full of nothing but stuff about getting into college and helping make sure you get the scholarships, grants, and things like that, and understanding. You see what I'm saying? And see, what we'll do though, we'll tune in and let me put it this way, because we don't have any more time. I don't care what, if you're 18, if you're 81, we no longer have time to say, hey, I'm only 20 now. I got plenty time for security to get myself into retirement. That's 60. That's a long time away. We don't have that time anymore. The way that the economy is swinging up and down. In my lifetime alone, I have seen at least 3 major depressions that happened. Okay. And see, I'm only 49. You might be saying, hey, well, it's kind of old. You might be saying it's kind of young. But either way, we got to put some type of urgency. You want, when you open up that business, your thing is who you're serving. First and foremost, who are you going to serve? If you're just doing something because you have this proclivity to it, you have this attraction to it, right? You have to develop something else, because just the attraction to it alone, just the passion alone, is not going to get you where you want to be. Yes, you are a great cook. Yes, you cut the best hair in the world. Yes, you can do the best weaves and all this stuff in the world. Yes, right? You have the best mind about putting things together. Yes, but you don't have all the tools, the networks, the resources that are happening. And first, also, there's all kinds of oppression, systematic oppression, all of these things that are happening that we know that are holding majority of our communities in a backward or in a stalled position. Okay. So what we got to do is gather together and say, I know how to do this already. I know how to do this already. Well, I know how to do this already. Then we come together and we do, a megatron, right? I don't know if that's the right terminology, but we get together and we make it happen, right? And see, there's no, there's no I in team, right? We can have a leaderless revolution. And that's what the real you is for. Renewing excellence and advancing leadership to where we can bring in the networks, the resources that are necessary to help you to get to that next place. The next place you're going to is a personal credit, right? That's the PC. The BC is business credit. And then the LC, as we talked about, is a leveraged credit, okay? Or leveraging credit. You see what I'm saying? The world is working on what? On debits and credits, ones and zeros, okay? Saving money is not going to get you where you want to be. You got to get to the place to where the money that you're saving is making you more money. Getting another job and still having a 30% tax bill is not helping you any. Getting another degree and still having a 30% tax bill, not outpacing inflation, having inadequate investing, right? And also being taken advantage of by capitalism and big business is not getting you anywhere. When is it that we're going to sit down and say, hey, my grandparents did this, my great grandparents did this, my parents did this, right? I'm doing this, okay? What has changed about that I'm going to be able to pass to my children? What is this that I'm doing that is giving me the proven results in my life? And if I'm doing something that is not giving me the results, when am I going to change? See what I'm saying? That's the only thing that's difference between the people that have made it and the people that are still standing in a certain position. I'm not going to a place to get to the money so where I can have a bunch of fun. That's not the whole point, right? The point is to help the next person to get to the next level, right? Because this world has us thinking that amusement and entertainment is the goal, right? It is not the goal. Amusement and entertainment will only get us a loss, okay? Because think about it. Entertainment just means it's a detainment for that idea that they have that they're sending to enter into you. Is what I'm saying? And then amusement, right? Muse is to think. M-U-S-E is to think. A is without. Amusement is without thinking. Okay. We have to get to a place to where we take it serious to say, hey, what do I have? Do you understand the position of how to pass along now that you have wealth? Let's say, hey, you got a great job, so to say, okay, and you're making $50,000-$70,000 a year. Great, right? And so now you have X amount of money inside of your 401k, TSP, right? So you're living life where you learn how to not make mistakes and you're no longer losing. So you also no longer going out. So you're not really spending a lot of money, right? So what's the goal with the money that's coming in, right? Will we have 10% going here? Do we have 30% going here? Do we have another 40% going here, right? What is happening here? Do we have an emergency account? Do we have, everything in place just in case things happen? Okay. What about insurance? See what I'm saying? See, all of those things have to be in place as we go through. And see, as we go through this particular episodes that we do and how to launch your business, then the best thing that you got to do is get the foundation in place. So many people come and say, hey, Mike, I want to learn real estate. I want to get myself into a better position. I want to start a business so that I can help others. But they don't have the disciplined nature to get themselves to the next level. They got enough discipline to say, I'm going to sell this particular product or service, right? And I'm going to post a couple of times online, but they don't know the strategy. They don't have infrastructure. They don't have frameworks. They don't have a way that's inside to scale it. They say, hey, I want to make $1 million. They don't know how to make the first 10. See, that's the things that have to change. And see, from time on, it's a lot of people that you can plug into, and I'm positive as well, and you can know that also. But at some time that somebody's going to tell you that right there, it won't work. That right there, stop. If you don't stop, something's going to happen that you're going to have to back up and start all over again. Okay. Oh no, you can keep doing it. See, people post things like, and I'm not talking about whatever. I just want you to know so that just like somebody told me, you got your LLC, your EIN together, right? You got everything together. That is absolutely awesome. It's a great step, but it's 5% of what you need to do. Okay. Then we got to get the basics in place. What about your business credit? Okay. Are you in place, or do you have the knowledge to get in place so that your business credit can help support what you have going on? See, if you have business credit, then you have your personal credit. That's what you use to get yourself to the next level. Then you can take the business credit, and then you can help yourself even more. See, the more that you leverage the information that you're getting, then the more that you're going to produce the fruit in your life that's necessary. So many times I talk to people and they say, hey, Mike, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. They have no particular focus, right? Focus, follow one course until successful. Okay. And what you got to do is you got to get into a place so that you will know that you are going to be, no, that you are success, not successful, that you are success, just like you are a human being. Okay. You are success. And see, then you start to think differently. When you start to think differently, you start to see differently. When you start to see differently, you start to bring in and notice the opportunities that have been put before you. Okay. You stop thinking about this particular mindset that there's not enough. Then you start to join with others and understand that your success is only by a team. And that success done as an individual is not a success because you don't have a successor. Okay. So guys, that's what I wanted to make sure. Personal credit, business credit, leveraging credit. Okay. Upon the foundation of cash flow management, business income, investment income, so that then we can do all the things that we want in life. We can reach our current lifestyle goals. We can achieve our future lifestyle goals, okay? And then we can destroy those 4 cash flow destroyers that are stopping you cold from going to your next level. Inflation, taxes, debt, inadequate investing. You don't need a second job. You don't need another degree. You need to get your cash flow up and then put it in the right places so that it can work for you. Okay. When you do that, then you can do the things that you want to do, because personal financial success is all about that. It's all about having the things that you need to have. Okay. Okay. And what is the direct definition of leverage income? Right. Leverage income is income that comes in outside of you, regardless of you. Right. If you are an individual that has a particular job, Or if you're an individual that has a business, okay, a small business, okay. So what happens is if you don't go to work, if you don't show up for that business, did you make any money? If you say no, then you have no leverage. You have no leveraged income. Okay, and that's what that definition is. The income that comes in, more people call it passive income, residual income, leveraged income. Okay, those are particularly the same types of income. Okay, and see, that's what you want to do to promote yourself. Okay, and I appreciate you always tuning in. Miss Haywood, as well, Miss Thomas. Thank you for the questions and the statements as well. What we'll do, we're bringing this all the way up to a close. And so, as you're launching your business, these series are going to help you to get yourself in a position, right? If you want to fast forward and you want to get there a lot quicker, www.purposepursuer.com. Okay. And when you reach www.purposepursuer.com, right, find out what we're doing. Look and see 501c3s, nonprofits, with brick and mortar, from home, whatever that type of thing is. That's why we call ourselves Purpose Pursuers. It's not about the pill, potion, lotion, wrap, tea. It's not about the service, the product itself. It's about the real you. And until you become the real you, all that stuff that you're doing is not going to produce the things that you desire. Okay. You first have to get the root together, then the tree, right? Then the fruit. Okay. So if you don't have great foundation, what's the point of starting this business? The SBA says 9 times out of 10, that businesses fail. What's different about your business? Because you're selling a few things here or there, because you're made 6 figures, you gotta think leverage and not linear income. Okay, get to that point. Discipline your mind. Stop moving from place to place. Sit still. Accomplish your goals. Write those down. It's not difficult. The only thing is difficult is the amount of time that is in between when you make the decision and when you have the reality. What do you do in that middle part? You get your mind together. You say, okay, when I wake up in the morning, right, I'm doing this. Cut that out, cross that out, right? And then what did I learn anything new? Okay. And see, this is why it's so phenomenal that I'm a proud associate of My Econ, because I have a library. It's unlimited. It is unlimited the amount of information and education that I get on a day-to-day, weekly basis. That they realize in a corporation, guess what happens in your corporation? The person that's training you, they don't want you to know as much as they know, because they're going to be missing a job, right? The boss is not going to tell you everything, right? If he does, if or she does, it's rare. But when you're in a business, you're wrapped around with people that are like-minded, and they understand that it's nothing that is there to compare or to compete. When you understand that, then it's a share and share alike. I'm going to give you everything because your growth helps me to shine. And until that knowledge and that information gets there, you're going to keep moving from place to place. You're never going to get out of that barrel. You may think because you're entrepreneurial minded that you jumped out of that barrel, but you haven't, because I'm gonna tell you a good gauge to show you that you haven't jumped out of that barrel. Okay, take the time over this week and invite however many people you desire, that's your friends and family, okay, to participate in your business. See what happens. Yeah, see what happens. And you probably already did. You probably, man, Mike, they don't support, they don't do. But as soon as they want to do something, they'll come back and holler at me. They want me to support. That's the thing. That's the thing. See, now you've become
that person in the group that everybody can look toward for solutions. You got to get into a group to where you will be the person looking toward others to get solution. You can't be the big fish in the small pond. That's what everybody likes. Everybody loves to be the big fish in the small pond. But you got to be the big fish in the small pond to get that. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop this, and I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I always do, and this is what we do, right? This is I learn all the years I've learned, and I'm going to be giving it back. And the thing is, what I've learned too is that I cannot consistently just teach, right? And then my business doesn't go anywhere, or try to help people launch their individual things and know about their purposes and their designs and get behind what they desire, but they are not getting behind the real university. That's why it stops. That's why it's a lot less of what I've been doing that you've seen presenting. Okay, because what we got to do is, once I get to the point and they see that this is a real thing, it's too late. Understand what I'm saying? We don't have the time to do this again. 2008, bottom dropped, lost millions of dollars, right? COVID happened. Again, lost almost everything. Okay. How do you start over without cash flow? You don't. You go get a job. Okay. Nothing wrong with jobs. Don't Nothing wrong with jobs. What I'm saying is you need options. You need options. You see, it's a and you can do it. And that's my whole point, to getting across to you. At some point in time, you need more people to say than to just to say, um, great job, go get it. You didn't show up for the call. Okay, right? Well, Mike, I couldn't make it because of this. That's great. No. Either you're going to commit to yours and you're going to make it happen, or you're not. Now you can jump over and say, "Hey, I'm gonna get another coach," and you can pretend again with a different coach or different person, like you're a different person. But remember, it's a common denominator. Wherever I go, that's where I'm gonna be, right? And I bring everything with me. All my crap, all my bad decisions that I have made. If I have not changed the mindset, then I'm bringing everything with me still. Okay. So at some point in time, you got to make a decision and say, hey, it's not me no longer that's in charge. And what I say by that, you say, Mike, it's only me here. Nah, what you got to see is that it's several yous. It's the you that decided that I want to tune in tonight. It's the you that said, I'm not going to do the reading of my book. It's the you that decided to watch 30 minutes of TV instead of doing working out for 30 minutes. It's the you that says that, hey, I'm going to read a book and I'm going to become a better. You see, it's all those different yous. You got to get all of those different yous in line so that you can become the real you. You see, it's got to get a point to where you are casting the vision, right? And the vision has to be your lead. That vision has to be everything, okay? And within that, with the vision, the people no longer perish. But without the vision, what? The people perish, right? So where's your vision written down? And it says specifically, write the vision, and the people that read it can run with it, right? And see, we're not doing the things that we know to do, and then we're looking for something to replace the actions that we should have taken. We're looking for something that we can buy, a pill, a potion, a lotion that we can get to take or what take over the fact that we're eating more calories than we're working off. You know what I'm saying? So whatever that, I know everybody's got different bodies and all that type of stuff, but you know what I mean. It's just a basic thing. Less calories means you're burning off, right? So with this right here, with your business, what is it that you have to do that's different? Every day that you wake up, do you have a step that you're going to do to get yourself to a different level? Do you have in your notebook right now or in your calendar right now, right, the steps that you're going to take to launch your business? Okay, I did the 401, I did the business credit portion with the Dun and Bradstreet, and I got this date on it, and that's when I'm going to do that one. And then on this day, and see, when something changes, like if the kids have some emergency, they got to do this or that, or if the significant other has something to do, or you want to, if something happens, you already have the plan. You got a game plan in front of you. But right now, you don't. And I know because I see it. I'm here day to day, right? And I watch the changes in the individuals. And see, I can hear it. I can hear it when somebody's reading. I can hear it when somebody's listening to audio. I can hear it when somebody's, getting get inspired, not just motivated, because once you're watching this, you're going to be motivated. But tomorrow, that motivation is going to be gone. See, the inspiration that lasts because you know your goal, you know your vision, and you won't let anything come in between it. You see, there's nothing standing in between you and your goal, right? Except for the discipline of your disappointments. To say, hey, I choose not to let that be negative effect on me, right? I choose to let my calendar be the premier leader in my life, right? If I'm going to get to a certain level, and this company, this business, this course, whatever it is, I believe that it's going to get me there, right? Then I'm going to put everything I got into it. It's never been any other way for me. Anybody, that knows me, I've been playing basketball since I was too short to play. Everybody's still too short to play, right? Right. But at the same time, I practiced. I wore ankle weights. I wore chest weights. I wore everything possible. I lifted weights. I ran. I did everything possible to increase my skill level because my natural form or what have you was not drawn to that activity. See, that's what you got to do. What you've been going through your whole life did not prepare you for your vision. That's the problem. What you went through your whole life didn't prepare you for your vision. It prepared you to become the real you. And see, either you have said that particular thing that you went through, it was either negative or you labeled it positive. There's nobody else in the world that can do that for you, no matter what it is. Yes, it was a negative effect. Yes, I'm not denying that. But at some point in time, you got to say, I am grateful for that particular thing because it showed me this. Now I know this. I'm not going to let this happen again. And see, that's what's happening. But we saw in this COVID thing that's happening that the finances were no longer there. We saw that there was a problem, when we had to be laid off for a particular set of time. We didn't have the emergency, or we saw that the credit wasn't there, or whatever it is. Have you changed what was ineffective in your life? Have you changed what you wasn't getting results from, whether that is a person, place, or thing? If you can't change the people around you, then change the people around you. That's it. If you don't like the way you are, you're not a tree. Leave, right? We got to make that decision, period, point blank. If you don't make the decision to live and be the best you, to be the best person that you can be, then guess what? You're not shaping your attraction point to where it should be. If you still got individuals in your life that are causing you to be this, that, and other, that you think is causing you to be this, right? Guess what's happening? It's causing a pollution, right? If you understand when something is, let's say for instance, if you have pure bleach, right? But if you dilute it, it becomes less powerful, right? It doesn't do its job. And see, if you don't uproot yourself out of this situation, if you don't uproot yourself away from this individual, if you don't uproot yourself from this way of thinking, then you're going to get the same procedures fruit over and over again. And then you're gonna be wondering, why is God doing this to me, or why does this keep happening to me, or why I keep having the same person in my life, or why, until you look at the root cause. This thing here, right? It is how we think. That is all. That is all, right? Okay. Self-discipline starts with yourself. Okay. Definitely. Person, place, or thing, right? You see, we got to realize what we are experiencing. Think about it like this. And I'm more, if you turn up, turn off. And I was gonna say I'm gonna wrap it up, but hey, but the thing is, think about it like this: we live in a purpose bubble. Okay, there's a bubble that's wrapped, and this is your purpose. Is within that bubble. It's just like an egg, right? When a chicken egg, when that chicken is hatching or growing inside the egg, everything inside that egg that chicken needs to grow, to develop. It doesn't need anything else. There's no umbilical cords going to it, nothing, right? And see, that's what you have right now. And see, this bubble that you have is everything that you need. It's already here inside that bubble. You are already given everything, okay? Or else you wouldn't be here, okay? Now, what you got to do though, you got to grow into that. And how you grow into that, because you go through experiences, challenges, trauma, right? You go through those things and it helps you to become, it crafts you. You're becoming on the wheel, right? The potter's wheel, okay? And see, as you're going through that, now you either are going to cast stuff out of the bubble that is no longer effective, or you going to bring stuff in, right? Books, CDs, audios, good people, right? And keep that in. You see what I'm saying? You don't bring up a wall to keep people out. No, you have something to say. I know better. So I don't need a wall. I know better. I can make the decision. So as soon as I see the person, place, or thing, my decision making prowess is so good that I don't have to worry about somebody getting through my wall. You can't, right? Unless I allow you. See, now you're focused. Now you're working. See, now you're thinking about yourself. And now you come to see, right, as the self, as it says, that there still is what thing. So what we got to do is now we got to what? We got to cultivate the earth that's here. And that's what the heart is, right? HEART, right? You move those words around. What does it say? Earth, right? So that's the center. That's where you're placing all of your heart is not the heart, but the mind, right? The subconscious, okay? And see, this is where you're planting, okay? This is what you got to do. You got to cultivate this earth. And how do you cultivate the earth? You got to pull out the weeds, the crap that person said, the hate that happened, what happened at the job, right? Oh, whatever. Who cares? Who cares, right? Who cares? They don't have what? They don't have a hell to put you into, right? They can't put you in heaven either, okay, right? So the thing is, we go forward, and now you pull the weeds out. And see, now that earth is going, it's getting better. Now you start turning over the earth. How you going to turn over the earth, right? What you're going to do is you're going to cultivate. You're going to get 20 minutes of good book a day. You're going to be listening to 20 minutes of audio a day. You're in the car. You're in the car. Put the audio on. Simple, right? So now you're getting better. You're shedding layers of trauma, of experiences, of things that you thought were truth, but were only facts. Once again, that's something you got to get. You got something that's around you now you think is truth, but it's only the facts. And don't get those two things mixed up. Just because something happened doesn't mean that it's true for you, right? Just because somebody treated you bad doesn't mean they're going to continually to treat you bad. Doesn't mean you're a bad person, right? It makes that person an idiot, okay? So now we get this particular persona. We get this particular aura, right? Because the earth is tilled, and now the seeds are starting to grow, and now the fruit is starting to happen. And see, now this is what you're seeing in your reality. You're seeing what you've been planting. That's what's happening. If you don't like what you're seeing, go back and look at what you planted. It's nobody else's challenge. Okay, we got to get to that point. And when we get to that point, everything is free. Everything, right, at that point in time. As you see the world, is not how the world is. You got to know that. You got to know that, right? That's the only way you're going to continue to grow. As I see the world, it's not how the world is. Because guess what? It is what? It's 8 billion other individuals that are creating within this particular world. So what I am seeing are only my perceptions based upon the things that I put in my mind. That's what's happening. So the manifestations that I'm getting, that if you are a woman, that man that you're getting, if you're a man, that woman that you're getting, if it's business, the services that not selling or the services that are selling, it's all because of what you have planted. Simple as that. Now you got to go back and say, okay, hey, let me line this up, precept upon precept, line upon line, right? Let here a little, there a little. Let me make me again. Let's go back to the original to see what was meant for me. How do you do that? You go back and you say, what am I drawn to? Okay, not what my trauma or my experiences or those things have led me to. No, from the mini you to the real you. What were you attracted to before stuff started happening to you? Okay, that's what you want to go. I had an awesome life. My cousins, they were awesome. They raised me. They were always there for me. Of course, my mom, my aunt, of course, right? But my life was awesome. So I didn't have a lot of trauma and stuff like that, right? So when I was growing up, I knew what I wanted to do. And I've been doing that. I don't know if y'all have ever seen Young and the Restless. You see, what's my man's name? the Victor Newman, right? And see, I saw Victor Newman when I was probably like 5, 6 years old, drinking black coffee and watching the stories and wrestling with my grandmama, right? Right? And so, those things, and I saw what he was doing, right, as a business person, and I said, that's what I'm going to do. And that's what I've been doing ever since. Ever since. Okay. And see, now what I've understood is that with people, and I started becoming a little harsh, back in my day, because I had progressed. Right, I was able to retire at 26. I was such and such, such and such. I'm wondering why ain't nobody doing it. Why y'all ain't doing this, that, and the other. It's not because of they don't want to do it. It's because of a innate program that is in there that is said, follow something else, follow somebody else, right? Just don't take the responsibility on yourself, right? That's a something that was programmed into our community from long ago, right? So we got to understand what we go through, what we've been through as a people, to understand who we are as an individual, because those things are passed right along to the DNA. Just like people say, don't eat the meat when the cows and stuff like that or traumatized, right? Because it's bad for the meat, and then you ingest that type of thing, right? It's what makes it any different than what you are absorbing every day, right? If you are going through your day without intentionally putting good things in you, without intentionally turning away from the things that have made you sad, right? If you're not doing that, then it's a constant cycle. It's got to be 180 degrees. You can't do 360. 180, go, right? 360 just puts you right back in the same place. Okay, it's not a 360-degree change. You want a 180-degree change, right? So, guys, man, I appreciate it. This thing is up for grabs, but don't compare. Don't compare. That's the worst thing you can ever do. Don't look out there and say this person started when I started, or started before I started, or whatever. You were placed here. I don't care if you were a twin. You came out by yourself, right? You may not have been born in the same, you may have other triplets, all this, but when you came out, you were born by yourself. Now Don't look for approval. Don't look for validation from those that are not going in the same direction you're going. Stop that. Get around individuals that are going in the same direction you're going. They'll automatically give you accolades and attaboys and go ahead, you got it, let's go, sis. It automatically comes. If you're not getting that on a day-to-day basis, you're in the wrong place. Okay? So reach out, guys. Change what you do. Change what you do, right? Change what you do. Be the change that you want to see in the world. You need a membrane, not a wall. Membranes only allow real people in to keep the unauthentic persons out. You see, right? So now this is how we grow and develop, we become, right? Just think about it. You see somebody that is a certain weight, whether it's heavy or whether it's they wanted to gain weight and whatever, right? But what I'm talking about is the transformation that happens with the body once the mind has caught a hold of the vision. When the mind says, I'm going to get there, there's nothing is going to stop it. There's proven different things over and over again where there was a car that was rolling down a hill, getting ready to run over the child, and the mother runs out and stops the car cold, right? Because it had to happen. Until you get to a place to where it's got to happen, it's not going to happen because you can't see it. You can't see it. Okay. So, guys, I appreciate it. You guys have a good one. Stay plugged in. Right? It's so many things. I've learned that everybody's not like me, and that's cool. That's cool. I like to look out when it's something that's challenging. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to see what somebody else is doing. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to make it. Period. Everybody has this point to where if something happens, I'm going to quit. Right? Come on, right? Right? Oh, I'm going to give it 3 months. I've been doing this 30 years. It's time. It's time to let go of those excuses, those self-limiting doubts, things that you're thinking about. And if you're listening to this and you're thinking that I'm getting on to you, or you feeling that some type of frustration because of things that I'm saying, then there's something inside that you need to get out. It's something inside because it's telling you that that's not good stuff. That's crazy. If you're getting mad, right? That's like a coach saying, hey, don't do that, do this. If you're doing a left hand layup, you got to use your left hand. If you're not using your left hand, I'm going to tell you, you're not doing a left hand layup. See, you need somebody around you that's going to be able to tell you those things. I like it to the point to say, hey, Mike, you got a bug in your nose. I'd rather you tell me than let me walk around, right? So get around the individuals, the people that are going to let you know that you're off purpose, that you're just not quite there, right? So, guys, do what you do, unless it ain't working, then change. Keep being that purpose pursuer. And I see you guys on the other end. Peace.